All right, I want to welcome you to our very first tech office hours. I'm Nancy Brown, part of the tech committee and all sorts of other things. And I am so excited to introduce you to our wonderful account supervisor from Allen Hall PR at the University of Oregon. That's really hard to say. Lily Sinkovich is the one who came up with the idea of doing this. And so I'm going to kind of throw it over to her, and I sent her the questions. And if you don't know the answers, we'll work on it together. How's that, Lily? We didn't really discuss how we were going to do the questions. Anyway, take it away.
Wonderful. I would love to introduce myself. I see some familiar faces. It's lovely to meet all of you and see some of you. My name is Lily. As Nancy said, I'm the account supervisor for the AAUW of Oregon team at Allen Hall Public Relations. I'm a senior at the University of Oregon, and I've been working specifically with state members, and more specifically Georgia, about everything social media and PR. So I have a team of myself and 4 other girls, and we mostly talk about and help with social media best practices and helping to create some literacy within all of the branches. So we thought doing an office hours would be great if anyone wanted to talk about social media specifically, or social media marketing, or just broad public relations actions through technology and social media. But my team and I are also pretty good with technology, so we can always help with that sort of stuff as well. So anything you guys have today that you would want to talk about regarding social media and or technology. I know Nancy is so great with technology as well, so it's lovely to meet all of you.
Okay, so we had a question sent in by Lillian Stewart, who I do not see is here. And unfortunately, some people that sent in their questions, they weren't as in detail as I need to be able to answer them without them here to answer the questions that I have. So Lillian wanted to know about how to take her emails and put them in files to retrieve for a later date. She is on Gmail. I did send her some questions, and after I got her question, I never heard back. So I'm gonna just kind of put hers down, and Karen Sims is here, and she was the next one, and she also had a question about putting all the minutes into a folder. And Karen, yes, thank you. Take yourself off mute. Please explain to us what folder you want to put these minutes into.
Yes, hi. So I am the secretary. So I do the minutes every month for the Salem branch.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the members told me, yeah, just drop everything into this folder labeled AAUW. And so I have my minutes. I've been doing it for a couple of years. It's just a big mess because I'm not that proficient in Google Docs. I mean, I can do the basics, but
see, Google Docs. You hadn't mentioned Google Docs, so I wasn't sure what folder we were putting anything in. Okay, Google Docs. Good.
Yeah, Google Docs.
Okay.
So yeah, I tried to figure it out, and I can't do it. And I even asked the tech guy at work, and he's our tech at the school, and he said, yeah, you can't unless she gives you permissions to do so. But then another member's like, oh, well, I could do it. I was able to put it. So.
Okay, well, Georgia.
And then so they think I have permission to do it.
Yes, Georgia is our resident Google Docs expert. And if she wants to join us and help us with that one, Georgia.
Well, it depends on where you're putting the Google Docs. What folder are you putting it in? Drive? Where is the doc supposed to be? Google Doc is just the Google version of Word. It's like a Word file. So it depends where you want to put it. Where do you want to house this file?
Okay, she already had made a folder to put some things in. She said, just add all the minutes in there.
Where is this folder? Is it on Drive?
Drive.
Okay.
Okay, let me
So-
ask a question if I can. Karen, do you know how to do a screen share on Zoom?
Yeah, I've done it before.
Because what I
can,
would see, what I would like to do is have you show us what
Mhm.
it is that you're trying to access. And that way we can help you, because we're just kind of talking in air right now. And I could try and bring up our Google, but it wouldn't help you looking at what our Google Drive looks like.
Mhm.
So if you bring up your Google Drive, I will give you the capability of sharing your screen, and then we can help walk you through it. How's that sound?
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and move on, and because this might take me a while.
Yeah,
So I
no,
will,
that's
work
fair.
on- yes,
Okay,
yes.
I'll put you back on mute and come back when you're ready, okay?
And Lily probably can add
Thank
to
you.
this or speak about it.
But
She
don't you
probably
think that
knows-
that's a good way to proceed if we can
Yes.
help people share their screen with us so we can, because
Yes.
we're just, yeah. We want to show your work. Got to show your work. Diane Barnes, you're here? Didn't I see you? Where'd you go? There you are. Oh yeah, Bruce. Run groups Zoom. Let's see. I appear. Okay. Here's questions. And her questions were about Zoom. Lily, are you a Zoom expert, or you want me to answer the questions?
I definitely have the answer for the first part of the question. It's what does the pin function mean basically, and why is it different from being a co-host? And it's about being able to share your, if you make someone a co-host, they're able to share their screen. If someone's not a co-host, they don't have that function. Pinning is basically only going to change your point of view on your Zoom. It means if you do the drop down and you pin someone, they will be the main person on your screen, but it's only your point of view from your screen. So going in and actually making someone the co-host will give them all the functions, but pinning only really changes the viewpoint.
And I would like to say about best practices with Zoom, do not ever give a guest hosting privileges. This is your account. You do not want them in charge of it. So make them a co-host if they're going to present. And that's what I always do, is make them a co-host, and here's something that can maybe have alleviated this problem. Diane had a problem with someone that came to present and couldn't get their PowerPoint to work correctly. I always have everyone who's presenting on our state Zoom send me their PowerPoint, because invariably it won't work for them. I mean, that's just kind of the way it is. When you're on stage, you know how things go wrong. And so I've done it a number of times when people said, oh yes, I know how to do, but I said, well, send me it anyway, just in case. And I've had to run it for them a number of times. So that's another best practice. So don't make anybody a host, just make them a co-host, and make a copy of their presentation so you can show it. Now, what I do with PowerPoint, I don't even show it as a PowerPoint. I turn it into a PDF, so that it's easier to scroll through it instead of it taking, PowerPoint sometimes will take up your whole screen, and then you got to modify the settings, and it's kind of a pain in the toots. So I will actually just turn it into a PDF before I show it. Let's see. Yes, you had no problem. And so I don't know why he could not get his PowerPoint to work. I think it was more a function of him and his computer than because you made him a host, and that gave him the capability of sharing his screen and running his PowerPoint.
Thank you.
And let's see.
Question,
Yeah.
can you explain the pinning again?
All right. Pinning is, okay, I watched a video briefly as I was looking for the answer. Pinning is the example given was if you're in class and you've got a crush on somebody, and you just want to look at them all through class and don't really care who's talking, you pin them, and then they're the only one that you see. No matter who's talking, you just see them. Okay, but it's only for you. It's not anybody else just sees that person. So pinning is specific to you and what you're seeing. Now, a host can spotlight. Is a host the only one, or co-host the only ones that can spotlight a speaker? And I do that sometimes, and then I forget to take it off. You spotlight someone, and so they're the only one that anybody sees when they're talking. And I do that sometimes, and sometimes I don't. So I don't really know what I'm doing, but that's what the difference between pinning and spotlighting. Pinning is only your view, what you're seeing. And spotlighting is something the host will do so that everybody just sees who they spotlight. For example, yes.
Can I talk to Spotlight?
Yes.
The reason I spotlight is so that somebody sneezes or something, it will go to that picture. And so that's quite embarrassing. Or if somebody walks in or their cat meows or something, then it will go to that person. And so for me,
Randa, you're if people don't know what you're saying, it's kind of confusing what you just said. When you don't spotlight and the video's on, when somebody makes a noise or talks, then the video goes to them. That's what she's saying. If you don't spotlight, then if you sneeze or whatever, that's why I ask people when we're in a session where we have a speaker, everybody mute. Because otherwise, if you're blowing your nose, then it goes to you and we get to watch you blow your nose. And so Randa very smartly only spotlights the speaker. So that extraneous stuff doesn't capture the video and the thing goes to them. Thank you. You're right. Yeah. It's just, I have to remember to do it, and I'm not very good about that part. Diane.
Where is the spotlight function? Where do you locate that?
I think what I do is I go to that person's picture, and you do the 3 dots at the top of their little picture when I mouse over it, and I hit spotlight for everyone.
I don't see that.
That's because you're not a host right now.
I think only hosts have that.
Yeah, you can't, Diane, you're not a host, so you can't see it right now. But when you're hosting your Pendleton meetings, you will be able to do it.
Yeah, a host and a co-host can do that.
Yeah.
And I do it by opening the participant window, and then all the participants are over on the side, and then everybody's there. So then you can spotlight them.
That's right.
Okay. Thank you.
There's always more than one way to do things in computers. A second question Diane had about recording a session. Point me in the right direction for how to record a presentation and where it can be posted for access. Last year, one of the presenters wanted a link to our recording of her presentation. Anyone want to answer that?
I think Lily should answer it if she can, because it's her office hours.
Recording a presentation, I believe only a host and a co-host can do that. But there is just a small record button down at the bottom of the Zoom screen, and it'll be next to the share screen option and next to or in between share screen and reactions. And you just hit record. And you have to confirm it. And then at the end of the meeting or whenever when you want to stop it, you just hit stop recording. That will then save to your files, and you can choose where to save it, and you can rename it. It depends where you would want to post it to share it, but you could put it into Google Drive just by uploading the document itself. So basically sharing that, you would just be sharing the file itself, which would be saved onto your computer.
Right, okay.
So let me go back just a ways. When you're setting up your Zoom account, your recording system, you can tell it whether to record or not record. And so I have ours, the state AAUW is set on recording. And then when I come on to the Zoom meeting ahead of all of you, I stop the recording because it immediately starts recording, and it doesn't need to watch me sit here until you all get here. And that's why when we began, I said all the stuff that I say before I started the recording, you know, that if you talk, you'll be on the video, blah, blah, blah. And then also in the settings in Zoom, in your Zoom account, you can tell it to record either to Zoom or onto your computer. And I think that's what Lily is talking about. If you start it from the screen and it will ask you where you want the recording. Is that correct? I've never done it from actually on the screen when I've got a meeting going.
Yes. So that also, it just, like you said, you stop them and then you start them again. Basically, I can, since I believe I'm co-host, right?
Not yet, no.
No, okay, maybe not. Well, I actually have an option. It seems like maybe not to record right now. You can see it at the bottom of the screen. I don't know if anyone else can see that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Option. So you would just hit that button whenever you feel necessary to record. As Nancy said at the beginning of the meeting, she prefaced that she was going to start recording, which is always a best practice. And then you confirm the recording. You'll record for as long as you want, and then you can manually stop it just by clicking on that button again. And then that file, a page will pop up and it'll ask where you want to save the file. So you can save it just into your regular Finder on your desktop. I believe it'll let you rename it so you can find it easier. And then you'll just be able to access that file, email it, post it to YouTube if that's what you want to do, or upload it to Google Docs.
Okay, I would like someone who's not a host to go down to the bottom of the screen and start recording, because I'm wondering.
I did that, and it says, ask the host to let you record.
Oh,
So we cannot record without your permission, whoever the host is.
okay, all right, good to know, good to know.
Yep.
Okay, the other way that you can save a recording, Diane, if you do it, like I said, from the settings in your Zoom account, and you say you're going to record meetings, it will record it and you say record it in the cloud or on Zoom. It will actually save it in your recordings folder on your Zoom account, and you can give somebody the link to that, and you don't have to mess with uploading it to Google Drive or anything. You can give them the link to that recording.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. Yeah.
But if you record it only to your computer, then no one else can have access to it because it's only on your computer.
Until you give them the link. Oh, on your computer, yes, on your computer.
That's right.
Right.
It has to be recorded to the cloud, to Zoom, for anyone else to have access.
Unless she puts the file into Google Drive and shares it that way.
Yes.
Nancy, is the link only to that specific recording, or
Yes,
is it to
yes,
any recording
yes,
saved
no.
on Zoom?
To that
one.
every recording I make has its own specific link. And the other thing to be aware of, in your Zoom account, you have a limited amount of storage available for your recordings. It's, I think, 1 gigabyte. So if you have a meeting that's 2 hours long, that'll probably go at least 1 gigabyte, maybe more, depending on what all you're doing. And so you need to get up and I download them onto my computer from there and give the link to somebody if they need it immediately. But you don't want to leave it there because they'll charge you extra storage. Because anything over 1 gigabyte in your recordings, after a couple of days, they want you to pay for more storage.
Okay.
Okay, sorry, can you hear me? I had my hand up, but.
Marty, yes, you were next. And Marty, which Marty is this?
From Pendleton.
Okay.
King. So you're saying we can record the meeting, to record it to the cloud so we can share it later. Otherwise, if we just record it to our own computer, we can't share it with anybody.
Yes, you can. You'd have to upload it to a Google Drive or to YouTube or some place where they can access it.
Okay, so I do the website, and I try and put all of our stuff onto our branch website because I thought that's what we were supposed to do. So I'm not saving stuff to the cloud or Google Docs or Google Folder or anything. It's all going onto the website. So if somebody wanted to record the meeting, can we save that to the website?
I wouldn't.
Okay.
I'll tell you why. Lily, do you have a comment?
You can. I don't know if I would put it on the website unless it's within the member portion of the website where members individually log.
Well, not only that, as I was saying, these recordings take up, they're very big. And we have very limited storage. If you have an AAUW based website, you have very limited storage. If you put your video on your website, it's going to take up a heck of a lot of your storage. So I would put a link on your website to the video and then have the video hosted by YouTube or Google Docs or whatever you want to use to host it. But I would not host it, which is what it means by the video living there. I would not do that on your website because we have very limited website capacity.
Okay, so we'd be better off to save a copy of the PDF of the PowerPoint or something like that to the website?
That would be good. Ilga, what do you think? You're our website expert.
Well, it depends on what you want to have on your website. If you're really looking at storage, I would put I would save that recording file someplace else and put on a link to it. Although Randa does have a recording that she put up to the Tigard area website. I don't know how much storage that's using. I haven't.
I think that's all to YouTube though.
Oh, it's a YouTube. So she's put it on YouTube.
So is there
do you have to have an account to do the YouTube?
Well, to upload, yeah, but not to watch it. Not to watch it. You can definitely you can watch, yeah. But it's not hard. YouTube accounts are free.
Okay,
so you'd have to do a YouTube account. Go ahead, Marty.
Well, that was my next question. I mean, if there was a cost to that, or how do you do that and do a lot of branches, then have YouTube accounts?
I don't think so. But that's what I do with all of the state videos. And so maybe Lily, when we're making the videos about Canva, maybe we better do a demo for YouTube and how to post your videos on YouTube.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah. Yeah, our branch has been putting up just the last meeting on the website. And then every month we delete that and put the next one up. So we only are using the storage of one at a time.
Okay.
Everybody's got a month to look at it if they missed the meeting.
And here's the thing about YouTube is that you can make them private videos and give the link to your members and nobody else can watch them.
Okay. And then Google Docs that you keep talking about, or Google Doc folder, are those tied to the branch website, or are these somebody's personal Google Doc folder?
Georgia, you want to talk about Google Drive?
Google Drive, sorry.
Yeah, you can set up your own branch drive. The state drive is for the state leadership, for all the state the board and the different state committees.
Well,
so
let's back up to the beginning of that. To set up a Google Drive, you have to have a Gmail account. So if your branch, I know, but it makes it easier. So
it does make it easier. But
so if your branch has an email account for your branch and a Gmail account, then you just set up the Google Drive that's attached to that Gmail account. It makes it much easier.
Yes, it makes it easier. And you can have your own file structure within Google Drive, and you have your own folders, and you put your own stuff in your own folders, and it resides just for the branch. And you can put your folders there, you put all your files there and all your minutes and your board meeting stuff. And we can show you how to set that up, model it just for your branch. It has nothing to do with state.
Well, is that what you want us to do versus putting everything onto the website?
It's up to you. For the state, the website is for all members of AUW Oregon. Our Google Drive is just for the leadership. We have all the governance docs, all the minutes, everything for all the leadership, all the board members, all the committee members of AUW of Oregon.
Could I say something about, you need to think about the purpose for your website. Your website is a communication tool, both internally and externally. So think of it more as a communication tool, and I'm sure Lily can say more about that. Whereas think of Google Drive as a filing cabinet. You put the filing cabinet, you put your minutes in there, Karen, and you can put other historical files in there, and make that the place where you keep your memorabilia, so to speak, for your branch. Whereas you want to have your website be kind of living and out there for your, for up to the moment kind of thing, because it is a communication tool.
Well, that's what I've done with the member only
it's
tab
more,
on the website.
Morty, it's more than that. The Google Drive is not only for storage, it's for collaboration as well. So that when people are collaborating on documents, they can use Google Docs as collaboration and change things, amend things, make comments on things right there. Even if they're all over the state, they can do that there instead of having flying emails back and forth and back and forth. So it's both storage and collaboration. And it's much more than just storage. But it's just for the leadership of the branch, just for the leadership of the state. And Ilga's right that the website is for some storage for the entire membership, and it is the public face of your organization. So it's for the public to see. And all our social media sites, all of that drive our attention to the website.
Okay, but so the website, at least our website, has got the I guess the public pages, newsletter, activities, that kind of thing. But then there's a membership page, which is password protected. And so then I'm basically using that as a Google Drive filing cabinet, I guess. I mean, that's where we've got stuff that only members can go to.
And I think Ilga has had thoughts about that there shouldn't really be a whole lot that's member protected. I think Ilga has had some thoughts about that.
I did reduce the member protected stuff a lot. I mean, how long do you want to keep your minutes on your website in the member protected? How many years? I think that to make it useful, you want to keep updated things there, like your documents, your bylaws, your policies, those kinds of things, your directory, for one thing, that for sure you want to have password protected. But those are the kinds of things that I have put on the password protected page, as well as when I receive branch newsletters. Sometimes those have some stuff in it that probably shouldn't be out there for the membership as a whole. When I receive those, I do post them as with the password protection.
Okay.
Marty, I just want to say one more thing about using the website as storage. It's kind of refers back to what I said earlier. You've got limited storage.
Well, that was one of my questions.
Yes.
That I sent in. What's the storage capacity, and how do we know if we're getting?
Ilga, you would know that answer.
I don't know the number off the top of my head, but when you go to the dashboard, it tells you on the dashboard what your storage limit is.
Okay. So are there directives on how many years we should keep minutes and newsletters and things like that? You guys have thoughts on that?
Well, let me just say something about this. We're using Google Docs, Google Drive, really not Google Docs, but Google Drive as our storage boxes that we use to cart around from president to president and treasurer to treasurer and secretary to secretary. We're tired of boxes. And so that's what we're using Google Drive for. And we even the state bought a hard drive backup, one of those external hard drives, so that we can back it up in case Google decides they don't like us someday. And we would have then all of that information and not have to cart it around and put it into boxes in somebody's closet. That's what we're using Google Drive for. So if you can think of it as the historical, and we do use the current as well, because that's a lot of stuff flying back and forth around between board members that we don't need to have on the website. But think of it more as your historical storage, your storage of the history of your branch, that you don't need to have on the website. And Marty, you asked a whole bunch of website questions, so you want to just move on to it?
Well, no, sorry, I ask a lot of questions in general, so sorry about that.
That's
I don't
okay.
want to take up other people's time.
Well, you've asked questions that people probably need to know. So let's look at your questions that you asked. And I'm assuming it's about website. You never did say it was about the website.
Oh, sorry. I thought this was all about website. I didn't even think about Zoom and the other stuff.
This is tech. This is all things tech. And actually Lily is our expert on things tech, including especially social media. But Lily, do you want to talk about the website portion of the question that Marty had? She was question number 4 that I emailed you just before we started.
Yes, this is about the activity page, correct?
And what I'm going to do is I brought the Pendleton website up, and I'm going to share my screen so that you can look at it and talk about it. Is that all right?
Sure.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's fine with me. I will say though that it sounds like I need to move a bunch of stuff that's on here and set up a Google Drive, because I've basically been using this as the historical storage for the branch documents, which sounds like I shouldn't be doing that.
Well, take a look at how much storage you have left. As Ilga said, go to your dashboard, take a look at how much room you have left. And if you're running out of room, then it's time.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know I could find that there.
And if you can't find it, email Ilga and she'll show you where it is.
Okay.
Okay, so your other questions, events page, adding things, review on how to add things to your events page right here.
Yeah, to that calendar. I did it years ago and I can't figure out how to do it. I'm missing a step or something.
Well, I can't get into your website, so how do we want to do this? This is our first office hours, and I realize that it's kind of clunky when we're not able to see what it is that the person wants to talk about. Do you want to, Marty, do you want to take us inside your Pendleton website and share your screen so that we can help you through? Because Ilga does this all the time. Randa does this all the time. Lily probably does this all the time. What would you like? We're here to serve you, and unless anybody else has a really burning question, I think this is very valuable, and it will be and we'll have it available for folks, and I'll cross out anything that might be proprietary, or you get inside your website before you share your screen, and then we'll wander around through it and help you out. Does that sound like it might work?
Well, that's fine. Again, I don't want to take up time if I'm the only one that has website questions. I can.
Hello, you're not going to be the only one with website questions.
Okay,
this is going to be helpful.
Okay, but I also don't know how to share the website to where you can see it. So
I know. So I'm going to make you a co-host, and then get yourself on your computer to your website and get inside of it, so we don't have to see your login information.
So I leave the meeting here, or I just...
No. Just open it elsewhere.
Okay.
What? Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I forget. I have 2 big, huge screens, so I forget people are on smaller screens.
Okay. So I've got it. I got it open now on I'm just on a laptop. So.
Okay.
Okay. So it's up on another tab.
Okay, good. And now go back to your, the Zoom tab.
Uh-huh.
And find where it says share screen.
I think somehow I don't know where you guys went to. Sorry.
We're there. It's just that it diminishes. And so you're going to have to either find us down in your tray or.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. No, it has another, I've got a tab that says post attendee Zoom. So I think
there you go.
But that's not what you wanted me to do, right?
Well, I want you to find your Zoom so that you can find the little green thing that says share screen.
Okay, got it. I just click on share screen then?
You click on share screen and then it gives you a whole bunch of whatever's on your computer and you have to find the picture of your website stuff that we're going to be working on.
Okay, I click on my website icon then. And do I want basic or advanced or whiteboard or?
Just leave it. You want basic. Okay. And then you want to say share.
Okay. Well, that's easy. Does everybody see that?
No.
No.
Does everybody else? I have two.
See it.
There we go. Yeah, I've got two viewers. Yes, we can see it, Marty. Perfect. So show us what you want and Ilga and Randa and Lily will help you through.
Okay. Well, then I guess we'll go quickly through these. Newsletter, I have been using that basically to store all these old newsletters. So it sounds like I should probably dump those old ones and just keep the current year. Is that, because that's a lot right there. Well, first let's go to dashboard. Can you see dashboard?
It takes a minute for us to see
Okay,
stuff.
I can't see the dashboard in this view.
You have to log in.
Are you logged in?
You have
Well,
to
yeah,
log in.
I was. Oh, wait, okay.
I don't see that you can edit. You have to get to the point where
Yeah,
you can edit.
I
Go
don't
down
know.
to the bottom of the screen. It usually says edit.
Yeah.
Click on
Login.
admin login. There you go.
In that way. Can I do that and still keep you guys on?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're good.
There.
Okay. So where do I look for this storage capacity? Do you see the dashboard?
Yeah, it says storage space.
Right down, right in that. No, don't. Right on the dashboard. Don't go to the left. Don't go to the left. Go to the right.
right
There
there,
you are.
okay.
Yeah,
Dashboard.
storage space and how much is used already.
Right there. Right there.
Okay.
Looks like you still have a lot of room.
Yeah, you have a lot of room.
Still got a lot of room, but it sounds like I'd be better off taking some of those newsletters that go back to 2012 or whenever.
Well, I would, but that's up to you.
Okay.
It's up to you and your leadership of your branch.
Well, they're going to say it's up to me. So, okay.
So if you
So,
think anyone's going to use them, you could leave them on, but I think the chances of anyone looking at those pretty slim.
well, the chances of any of our members going to the website, I think, is pretty slim. So, okay. So events is a calendar. And in the past, I've been able to put stuff on the calendar, but I can't remember how I did that. And I think I'm making it more difficult than it should be or something. So I'd like to put like our meetings or something else to show up on that calendar. So that was one question.
And I would ask the other folks who are doing this how.
I don't know how to do it.
It says edit right there. I'd click the edit button and see what it does.
Me? Okay.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Yeah, it just takes you to that edit page.
Yeah. Well, that's how you do it.
Well, I know, but so normally when I'm on the website, there will be a calendar page there on events. And, what our meetings are on the first Thursday of the month or whatever. And so I have in the past gone in there and put branch meeting or a board meeting or a lunch event or something like that. And I can't figure out how to do that anymore. That's what I was trying to.
Would you click on view page for me? Just let me see the page.
Yeah, for some reason that calendar is not coming up.
So I think you've lost something because if it on view page, it should show that calendar. So you might
Okay.
have to reinvent it.
Okay. It was showing it before when I'm on the website, so I don't know what's going on. I'll maybe I can email somebody about that and work on that.
I
after
would
this.
I would email site resources and ask them to put it on.
Yeah, is that back in DC? I've had sort of so luck.
Well, they're the ones that manage everything that we can do. So
Yeah,
they're
okay.
your best. Yeah, they're your best option.
Yeah, I've had so luck over the last several years.
So have we all.
Okay, so activities, this is one thing that came up that I just realized this year was that when I hover over activities, I get a list. Does everybody see that?
Mhm.
Yes.
But when I click on activities, it comes up, and it did come up in a different order. And I don't know, the other ones you have to actually click on the header, except for about, that's got a couple things, but is that, I was wondering if there's a way to take that hover list off and just have to be able to click on the header to get to the page. Do you see what I'm asking? Because I didn't realize that it was giving me two different lists, which I didn't realize until I happened to be fumbling around looking for something. And it's like, whoa, there's two lists, and one has one document and the other one has a different document for the same topic. And so then I had
all linked. If you'll see that they're all underlined, so I think you've made a link out of each one of those.
I think in order to get rid of that long list, I think you have to be what's called a super editor.
okay.
And when I was first learning this, I had to have Nancy. Nancy was a super editor, and I think Randus is super editor, and I was not. And I was just struggling with how to work with the menu or that widget that goes down the side.
Yeah.
So that's something you do have to go to site resources, but maybe you are a super editor. But I would just remove those drop downs and just stick with your single page. It's very
So
complicated.
Ilga, how does she do that? Is this a menu? What is this that she needs to be working on?
You need to go to your dashboard, go to edit page. Okay, scroll down to the bottom of edit page. Let's see. Well, it's not there.
So where do you work on menus? It's a menu item.
It's a menu item. You work on it. You go to your dashboard. I don't think you're a super editor because
I don't think so.
super editor has the word appearance in the left-hand column. And so you really can't work on that.
Okay, so that's a site resources question again.
What you need to do is request that they make you a super editor. Then you'll have appearance as one of your choices on the far left. And once you have that appearance on the far left, then it will give you the option of changing the menu. You'll also be able to change the pictures at the top, and you'll also be able to change the column at the right. And presently,
okay.
you do not have that.
Okay, you're saying appearance, APPERANCE, appearance?
Yes,
Okay,
I believe
so
that's
appearance of the site is what you're saying.
yeah.
Well,
But it will come in that column on the far left.
Yeah,
It will be a selection at that time. And
Okay.
right now, it's not a selection for you.
Okay, and so is that allowed then that I'm to
Definitely.
become a super
You
editor?
request of site resources to be made a super editor because you
Okay.
need to make some changes to your menu.
Okay, that might be very helpful then. Didn't know that. Okay, so then the members only, that's what I've been using as for RIs only kind of stuff. So the internal only versus, so all these other things are for the public, and then the members only was our internal, like information about you know, our grapefruit fundraising and member rosters and our scholarship, who got scholarships and how much and that kind of stuff. Is that not what do other people use that for? Because maybe I've been using it wrong.
Grants Pass branch does not put any of that stuff on our website.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
No.
Not even in the members only.
No,
So somebody just maintains it. And if anybody has a question, they contact that person.
mm-hmm.
So my question is, the stuff that you were talking about, is that something that you also put in your newsletter?
Yeah, some of it.
Because you have a place for your newsletter. And so if people want information about the grapefruit sale, they can say, oh, that was in the newsletter.
Right. Okay. Huh,
I
okay.
feel like the bylaws should be there, and anything like bylaws should be there so that all members should be able to see the bylaws.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we've got, I don't think that's in members only. I'd have to look again, but okay. I'll have to go back and check that stuff. And then I guess my last question was, somehow, and again, I don't know where it was, the contact us for people that went to the website and they contacted it, and my email was the contact, and I kept getting like 99 out of 100, it was spam or porn or this or that. It was never a legitimate email. And so through Site Resources, I had them take it off. What do other people use for the public to contact the branch via the website? What would you suggest?
You're still going to get that spam because there's somebody out there that wants to contact all of us, and you just have to ignore the ones that are coming through saying you're using pictures that you shouldn't be using and that kind of thing. But I think it's important to have a contact link to go to somebody. And if it goes to you, then you would forward it to somebody who asked the legitimate question.
Yeah, I have done that, but I mean, it was just getting so much porn email. You know, I mean, it was just getting ridiculous. And I certainly didn't want to have any probability of a virus or anything infecting my computer from all these emails. I never opened them, but still, it just got to be a lot every day, every week. And so
I will tell you, Marty, that every day on my Gmail account, I get about 1,700 spam. So it's just the way the world is. I delete them all. I don't look at any of them.
Okay, so should we be setting up a Gmail account for the branch? Is that a better way than using my personal email?
Oh, you do not want to use your personal email.
Well, that's what I was doing because we didn't have anything else.
Well,
yes.
In our case, the personal email is located with Site Resources. It goes to their Site Resources, sends any messages to me or to wherever it's going to go. So that your email address isn't on there. It's just the message will come to you because Site Resources sends it to you automatically.
Well,
so
maybe that's what was happening, but I was still getting it on my personal email. Yeah. So, but
what email address did you put on your website?
Well, maybe it was the Site Resources and then they forwarded it on to me. I don't remember because that was last year.
It comes from Site Resources. It doesn't come from the person. If that form that they're completing, they complete it and they say whatever they're going to say, then they send it and that goes to Site Resources. And then Site Resources automatically forwards it to wherever you're asking them to forward it to, which would be, I assume you're saying, your address, but it comes from Site Resources.
Okay, do they delete the spam or they don't do anything? They just automatically forward it?
it's an automatic forward, and they don't know that it's spam. I mean,
Okay.
the ones I've been getting are, they're filling out all the lines. They're giving us their address, which is fake, and blah blah blah. I assume it's fake, but at the bottom they're trying to tell us. We've also gotten some that are talking about people who want to come and speak to the branch.
Yes.
And that particular one and I think I've gotten 2 or 3 of them, but one of those I saw on reading somebody else's newsletter that she indeed was going to speak to this other branch. So she was legitimate. She was just using it to interest people. In fact, I even bought her book, but we didn't have her speak.
Yeah. Okay. So, but you're saying some branches then have a Gmail account, and then that's the email that they would send to site resources to contact?
You could, or you could just do it the way that I forgot that the email account associated with the state website is an email that was created by Site Resources. Is that correct?
I had, as far as the state website,
Mm-hmm.
it had the entire officer roster listed, and I found it too problematic, and I removed it all, and there is currently no contact us ability through the website.
Okay, because I did get a number of people contact me through the website wanting to speak and do this, that, and the other thing. Okay. So again, Marty, it's kind of.
I wouldn't be a member. I probably wouldn't have joined Tigard if there hadn't been something on the Tigard website that I could contact the branch to say, I'm interested in knowing more about your branch.
Right. And I put up with this for several years, and then I just told Site Resources to take the email down, the contact us. And so I guess I'll have to work with them again, and because I couldn't do that. Maybe as a super editor, I can put that in. I don't know, but I do remember they had to take it off for us. And so now we haven't had it for a while. So, okay, I'll get off the air and let somebody else ask questions, and thanks. Appreciate the help.
Okay. And then you can, let's see. I will stop your sharing. Thank you, Marty. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Anyone else have questions for Lily? I'm sorry, we've monopolized your office hours. Well, you knew if I was doing this, I would do that. Sorry.
No, this is great.
Any other questions that people have?
I sent you a question, Nancy.
Did you?
Regarding Facebook.
Ah.
Our question, and I think this might affect other branches as well. We have a Facebook account, but it's rather inactive.
Mm-hmm.
And the only person who is allowed to post, her husband died and she's really busy. And so we're in a situation now where nobody can get in it. And it's too difficult to bother her to get us, to change it over. So what do we do?
Well, I suggested when you contacted me that you do bother her and get her to change it.
So it wouldn't be better just ask her to delete it and start over.
I don't know that Facebook actually ever deletes anything. Lily, what's your take on that?
I don't think it's necessary to delete the account. I think it would be great if someone could take over. I don't know how that works. Or I know Georgia and I actually spoke about this, but we were talking about I don't know if this is exactly possible, but if there's anyone within your branch who has a passion towards social media, or even if it's someone younger that they know who is really looking to get experience in managing social media or anything like that, that might be a conversation to have within your branch. But I know there's a lot of people in high school and colleges right now who are looking for social media management experience to be able to put on their resumes. So that was something Georgia and I spoke about, if you would want to talk to your individual branches about putting out that messaging, asking friends and family if anyone is interested in helping out with running social media.
But here's the thing on your Tigard branch social media, on your Facebook page. If that person is the person who's the administrator, she has to make somebody else an administrator before you can get in there and kick her out. And we always recommend, Georgia nodding her head, at least 2 people be admins of your account, because somebody's going to have something happen. And she's saying 3. And it is a what I call a business account. It's a nonprofit account, so it is not her personal account. So if you can contact her and she can just go in and put somebody else's name and email address in there, she can abandon it for the rest of forever.
So do most people, or sorry, do most branches have a Facebook account as well as the website?
Many do.
Many do. And yes, you need to have at least 2, better 3 administrators on your Facebook account for just this reason. The Facebook administrator doesn't want to have anything to do with it anymore. She's busy. And so someone else can take over. You don't need the password. That's old stuff. Just have the administrator add someone else. I'll tell you a story, little story. I quit Zonta and I deliberately took myself out. I eliminated myself from the Facebook account. I threw myself off. They didn't know what to do because no one had the password. So, but I made sure there were at least 2, 3 other administrators on the account. So all I did is I asked one of the administrators on the account to add me as an administrator again, which she did. And now I'm posting away like crazy. So that's all that's required, is to have one of the administrators, have this administrator that's on the account, add someone else who is also on Facebook to the account as an administrator. And what the person has to do is look in their notifications. That's where the invitation will come. Used to come as an email, but not anymore. They're always changing things.
I know, it's rude.
It is.
So Ilga, if we can help this person, and get into her account, and if she doesn't know how to make somebody else an administrator, let us help her, because we want you to be able to have access to, and you've got some great past stuff on this. I would hate you to have to start all over again. I mean, you got Barack Obama on there, I mean.
So
we can help. We can help.
What do people put on the Facebook account versus the website? I am not a Facebook person, so, I mean, what do you put on there?
Oh, well, we put current stuff on there. And Lily posts, if you look at the state Facebook account, you will see a lot of current stuff, and you will see Alan Hall PR's influence because it's so much more professional. Lily and her team posts on our Facebook account and posts on our Instagram account. Instagram is aimed at a younger demographic, say people in their 20s, 30s, 40s. Facebook has been taken over by an older demographic, primarily, us. And you'll see, oh, look at her. Oh, Nancy is so good.
So I'm not a Facebook user. Can I still go and look at the Oregon Facebook website?
I don't know.
I think you have to have a Facebook account
to look. And of course, it's free. And this is an administrator's look at, is this an administrator's look at it?
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
And
we post current things.
Okay, this is the regular person's view.
Okay, and we use as our guide the strategic plan in terms of posting, and we started out using the strategic plan of National as our guideline for posting. And we post about current events. And we also post about AAW of Oregon current things that we want to emphasize.
So Lily, can you give us a bit of an overview of your strategy for the social media for AAW, just kind of so that people can understand what we're doing and they maybe want to model?
Please take as much time as you wish. This is your area.
Well, as Georgia said earlier, I believe it was Georgia, kind of going off of what Georgia said about the website, where it's somewhere where your members can find information, but it's also somewhere where people who don't necessarily know about a lot about your organization go to find out more. So it's very important that your social media is current, but it's also pulling in, every post should tie back to your organization's mission and values. It should be a place where you're updating members and also sharing with new audiences the new initiatives that are going on. You can post about meetings that are upcoming. You can post about fundraisers that are happening. But my team strategy specifically with the AAUW of Oregon page has also been about sharing a lot of AAUW's resources for social media best practices in order to drive engagement with your socials and really be bringing people to your website, you want people to want to follow you, to want to learn more. So posts should always be one of 3 or 4 categories, which is educational, helpful, informative, or entertaining. So it doesn't necessarily always have to be an upcoming meeting or something that kind of just feels obvious. Those are very important, but you can also go into National's website and post about the 2-minute activism toolkit. Just being able to kind of show new audiences what AAUW is really all about, and being able to share those resources with people, share more information, share personal stories, really helps to create that brand for an organization. And especially on the local levels, being able to talk about stuff that's going on in your community and being able to tie in how AAUW fits into it through kind of that creative social media design or pushing out content really helps to bring in new people to the organization, even if they aren't necessarily super involved, being able to keep them up to date as well. So it's not just for current members. You're not just posting about one meeting that happened, if that makes sense. You're really branding your organization through the social media.
This sounds like an awful lot of work for somebody. And
That's why she suggested high school and college students.
Say that again.
That's why she suggested looking at high school and college students who want experience being social media managers. That's a real job these days, and you can make decent money being a social media manager, but you need experience.
It makes me sick to my stomach. I'm so old school, I guess. I'm not on any.
I'm not talking about you doing it. Find some young person.
I know, I get that, but we have a hard time getting people to want to take officer positions every year. It's like a struggle because, you know, we're a smaller group, we're aging group, and this just is, I understand it, but it's hard to wrap my head around it, I guess.
But you have a community college there.
Yeah, we do.
And you probably have students there who are just chomping at the bit trying to get experience running social media for an organization.
That's what
that
Lily's
I don't know about. What kind of so where exactly would we look for somebody that's in a social media manager kind of groove? I mean, what kind of coursework? Or,
it's part of your marketing package. You know, you have a marketing package, a membership package, and if you can get together, how are you going to recruit new members? Make this a part of it. So I don't know, Lily, maybe you can help. Where would you look? I would look at anybody who's doing marketing, advertising, or technology, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you have okay. In Pendleton, you have at Blue Mountain, you have college university reps who could be an entree into the student body who might be available and interested.
So you're telling people are getting these students and they would do this as a class project or something like that for the year to get some
Well,
experience.
Lily, what do you think?
So I can say this is specifically at UO. Allen Hall Public Relations is a student-run firm, and it's for public relations, which a lot of it, because of the way technology has grown, is social media focused. When I was even in high school and before I joined Allen Hall Public Relations, I actually have social media interning experience on my resume from just working with different organizations and offering to use what I know about social media to help them kind of brand themselves through social media. And so that I got to say was an internship experience, and it's on my resume. It wasn't a super structured internship. It just was something that I wanted to put what I knew to the test and to kind of help an organization out. So even just looking internally and asking your members if they know anyone in college or in high school, or even if any of the members are interested in having that kind of experience, and then being able to kind of lay out a ground strategic plan for what really will go into the social media. It helps. This is definitely a step down the line, but it helps to kind of develop a little bit of a plan. That's something my team and I do, is being able to build out a media schedule, and you can put in information about upcoming events and then know when to post certain things. So it's very structured and very organized. But even before you get to that point, it's having social media. It doesn't necessarily need to be just all of that yet. It's definitely also just another valve where people are able to consume more information. So it's just thinking about, people will go to the website in one way or another, but a great way for people to even find the website is through social media, because that's somewhere where people go nowadays to look for current events that are happening or stay connected with people. So it's just another way to spread information. So it doesn't need to be everything all at once and have a super built out strategic plan from the get-go. It's about being able to just create that account and developing that following and being able to share the information that you want to share with the community, with your members, with potential new members onto that platform. And then saying, you can find out more information by visiting our website, or you can find out more information by emailing this email if you're interested in finding out more. It's just kind of a branding tool.
Okay, so are you suggesting that like Facebook and Instagram would be used in addition to the website, to keep the website, or get rid of the website and just go?
No, in addition.
In addition.
It's another tool. People are not searching for your website, but they might be on Facebook and see something on Facebook. It's just, the way it is these days, we have to provide multiple avenues for people to find us.
Okay.
And don't think you have to do Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter and hooty dooty woody. I mean, if you can find somebody that has some interest, a student who has some interest in doing Facebook, that would be marvelous. And I'm sure Lily might be able to help on another office hours, help that student develop a plan. So, we don't have to do it ourselves, which is wonderful.
Yeah. So is there a hierarchy? Is Facebook the best one to use, and then Instagram, and then something else? Or? Well,
I tell you what, we've got on the YouTube channel. Have you ever watched any of the videos that I have posted on the AUW of Oregon YouTube channel? Okay, so we have a few videos there under the technology section about best practices and strategies for your social media. So I would recommend you might want to start there.
Okay.
And just go into go to YouTube and just put in the search AAUW of Oregon, and we have a channel.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. But we're here to help, Marty. So don't feel like you're lost in space and all by yourself. Okay.
Right. Somebody at my house thinks it's past dinner time.
I see that. Yeah. All right. Well, Lily, do you have, I'm sorry, I kind of took over your session here, but please tell us any final words, what's upcoming with the office hours and anything else you'd like to say.
Yes. Well, I would love to say Georgia and I, we were going to send out an email about this soon, but also for all the branches. Oh, sorry. I got a call. For all the branches, we decided to make a Google Drive folder where my team's designs and templates, and also I can put the best social media strategies in there. They will be sent out for all of the branches to be able to download and post to their socials as well. So a lot of what you see on the Instagram and the Facebook, it's not just specific towards kind of one. Obviously, AAUW of Oregon is all encompassing of the branches, but it's information that can be shared onto any of Oregon's platforms about AAUW.
Right.
And they're just templates that my team designed. So when thinking about an individual branch's social media, a great way for that to stay updated was we were thinking about you can pull some of the past posts that my team have done. And one example is we did recently a slide post of one of the 2-minute activism initiatives for, I believe it was ending pregnancy discrimination. That's one of them. So we made a bunch of templates for it and I put them into the shared Google Drive. You can go ahead and download them and post them to your own social account. And then you can also post updates about your individual branches, initiatives, meetings, programs. And that's a great way to just kind of keep the posts coming and to keep reaching new audiences and also just share way more information about all the resources that are within AAUW. So I'm sure Georgia and I will do that soon, send out that information. So that was one update.
And that in the sharing of our state website, I don't know if you remember, but you saw a posting that said "Bands off our bodies." That was Lily's posting. So that will go into the folder and any branch can take that posting and post it on their own social
Facebook
media.
page. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Lily, good job. All right. Go ahead.
Also, sorry, not to interrupt. Nancy and I were also speaking about doing a how to use Canva demonstration to post. We would just do a pre-recorded presentation. And that's where my team and I make all of those templates that you see on the Facebook and the Instagram. So that's upcoming as well.
How to use what?
Canva, CANVA.
.com.
Yeah, it's a wonderful, wonderful program. I use it all the time to make personal greetings for my family, to make postings. I just did my Christmas video. It's like 40 seconds. It's a terrific little tool to be creative and play with. And Nancy Brown introduced me to that. So, you know, Nancy is our tech wizard. She's taught me a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't be overwhelmed, Marty.
Well, I'm just trying to think who's going to want to do some of this legwork.
Well, let me tell you, that's fun. Playing in Canva is fun.
Oh yeah, that's fun. That's just fun.
Okay.
Let's playtime.
All right. I think we should probably wrap it up. I thank you for those of you that have hung around with us. And Lily and I will talk about when we want to do this again. We're talking about once or twice a month. I don't want to overwhelm her because she is in school and is doing our social media. So we don't want to, take all of her time. But I think this is being able to talk about it, show and have people show us their stuff so that we can walk them through. I think this is a really good use of time. So that's what I think. Okay. Anyone have a comment for the good of the order? I thank you all for coming. I thank your cats for coming. I saw Ilga had her cat here too.
Yeah, a couple of cats.
Lily, we totally appreciate all the work you've been doing for us, you and your team both. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. We're so happy to be here. And I'm sorry my team couldn't make it tonight, but we're so happy to be here. So thank you all so much.
Great.
All right. Well, we'll let you know when the next one is. Thanks everyone for coming.